Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are safe and you are with someone you care about who also cares about you. I want to apologise. I just realised I'm not wearing any sleeves on anything. That is not because I want to show off my perfectly sculpted guns, although I have been working out. It's because I was filming 10 in the house and I generally wear a vest underneath my jacket, like a little tank top. If you're in the UK, you know what I'm talking about. Americans call them wife beaters for some reason, which I just never understood the name for that. Anyway, that's what I'm wearing underneath this this body warmer, and yeah, it looks a bit silly, but hopefully you'll forgive me because it is in fact the Sunday musing, and I only put this on because it's colder outside than I thought it was going to be, because autumn is well and truly here. We'll talk about that obviously a little more in the chicken and garden update, which hopefully you've already watched. But if you haven't, go watch that after you watch this. Thank you for all of your kind comments last week on the Sunday musing. We're going to try and turn the comments back on take 2. Things have not been quite so bad. We're going to try and keep them on and see what happens. But honestly, the way things are going right now, I don't know how long we're even going to be able to stay on YouTube, because let's just not go there. It's probably the best way of putting it. But I want to talk to you today, not about vehicles, but about energy efficiency, and particularly how you are at home cooking and making food. And I know that a lot of people are facing unprecedented electricity bills. I am. Our electricity bill is ridiculous. We are now paying in the summer what we used to pay in the winter, and our electricity consumption has gone down, not up. Same thing for like grocery shopping. I know that cost of groceries has gone up around the world, particularly it's gone up in the US. And that's led people to think a little bit more about making their food go a little bit further. And so today I want to talk to you about how you cook your own meals or your family's meals, whatever your domestic situation is, and how that has changed as a consequence of rising energy prices. And also, if you now cook more energy efficiently than you used to, do you find yourself doing kind of single pot meals? So that would be like a crock pot or a slow cooker, and cooking meals in one pot and leaving it on a low heat for most of the day instead of blasting it in the oven or the microwave. Or do you cook a meal with the intent to turn that leftovers from that meal into other dishes? So a good example would be if we have a Sunday roast, we will take what's left over and we'll reuse it. This past weekend, the roast dinner that we had on Sunday ended up being used, I think, for 4 days afterwards. So we had some, we made some taco baskets or taco salads, I suppose you call them. First day, I ended up slicing up some of the leftover potatoes and recooking those and having those as kind of a reheats on a Monday. Growing up in the UK on a farm, reheat Mondays were kind of a thing, right? So it was normal. Whatever we'd had for Sunday lunch ended up becoming Monday's dinner as well. And Mum would either make homemade fries or chips to go with it, or she'd do something else. And that's kind of what we do here. And I know that it's not normal because, or it's not usual. How about that? I know it's normal for me, but it's not usual for a lot of people. I'm more than happy, for example, to make a pie that will last most of the week. And, you know, it's only me and my wife are here now. When my daughter was home, maybe it would last us 3 days instead of 5. But we would kind of make a large dish on a Monday using leftovers from Sunday's dinner, and then we'd have that reheated through the rest of the week. And that obviously saves energy because you're not turning on a stove every day. You're not turning on an oven every day. When you reheat the food, you're only reheating a couple of portions worth instead of the whole thing. And that seems to ensure that we go to the store less. It means that we tend to eat more healthily. I've talked before on the channel about how we don't eat a lot of takeaways. And I was actually polling the team this week, you know, what's usual for you in terms of takeaways, and without fault, every other member of the team eats takeaways more often than we do. And the determining factor seems to be we are so far away from a takeout that for us, choosing to get a takeout means we either are so tired we don't want to cook, or we are out and we're coming back from somewhere and we don't want to cook when we get home, or we're just like, nah, we don't fancy cooking today. Let's get a treat. And sometimes it will be a treat at the end of the day. But I know that for many people that's not the case. So I'd love to know if you plan your meals around a weekly schedule, which is kind of old-fashioned, I don't mind admitting, or if you utilize your leftovers in that way, or are you a little bit more like, I think the majority of people, which is you cook a meal on one night, there are leftovers, you put it in the fridge, you forget you have leftovers, you cook something the next night, put that in the fridge, you forget you have 2 leftovers. By the time you get to Friday, you have like 6 different leftovers, and you either kind of combine them all into one unholy combobulation of food, often too much food, or you just throw it away. And I've had friends and family members over the years who've done those things, and it drives me up the blinking wall. If there's leftovers in the fridge, I feel like duty bound to use them. And to the point, and maybe it's my autism and my ADHD, but same thing for the garden, right? When there's food in the garden that needs to be cooked, I will go out of my way to cook the food that I've grown rather than waste it. And I know that that's unusual, but I think maybe that's also why I push towards cooking in an energy efficient way. I don't want to have to stand at the stove every night. I know most people don't want to do that. So tell me, how do you do it? How do you try and use as little energy as possible while also providing nutrition for your family? And if you don't cook, that's okay too. You know, if you're someone like, I live in town, I don't like cooking, I go to a takeout every night, and that's fine because I make my takeouts work. And maybe I have this little system that, you know, that ensures I don't create a lot of waste. If that's you, fine. Tell me about that. Tell me why you chose that route and how it impacts your life and how it benefits you. I'd love to know more. Let me know down below. As I say, comments are back on, at least for now. Don't be surprised if the comments mysteriously vanish this week. We're going to be away. Other people are going to be keeping an eye on it. And fingers crossed, you'll behave. Because otherwise, bad stuff. Anyway, be kind to one another. Be excellent. Resist and all that good stuff. And I will see you either next week or in 2 weeks' time. Next week's Sunday Musing might be done by someone else. Watch this space.
Thanks for watching us today. You can connect with us on Patreon, Discord, Mastodon, Blue Sky, or through our website. Huge thanks to the amazing folks scrolling by right now. You're the reason we can stay independent and keep making content without corporate influence. And right now is a perfect time to join. Through September and October, we're running our autumn Patreon drive. Sign up and you'll not only support the channel, but you'll also get an exclusive piece of digital art from Erin. Want to see your name here too? Support starts at just $1.50 US a month, and you can even gift memberships. And of course, a massive welcome to our newest members: NYTMR, Chris Wright, C&K Adventuring, Andy Pyatt, Gerald Eden, Curlacos, Chip Chandler, Robert Nelson, 00 Critical, Tom Fagden, Barry 2379, Mike Coffeen, James River, Eric Knack, Hans Rose, DW, Meryl Fratkin, Kristen Rasmussen, MX Menivar Vargas, Stephen Nichols, Panther Legion, Kit Saprida, Bark Eater J, Jeff Good, Conrad Zalance, Frank Snyder, Jeffrey Smith, Tony Roberts, Matthew Frake, Jacqueline Cockburn, Fritz Coker, Trans Vegan Cyclist, Jade Diaz, Laura Shear Clark, Everett Garnett, Peter Broadwell, Jerry, Jeremy Redmond, Patrick Matthias, Pamela Not Pam, Dave Fry, Mark Anderson, Tal Hobson, C. Daniel Tideman, Martin May, Fee, Donovan, Date Downs, Matthew Buckar, Zach C, Taraki, Kathy Windandy, Alex, Patricia Connor, Lindy Melendez, Dameron Can, Gary Robotham, Dave Miles, Tina Ponish, Mark Kruger, and Tyler Walker. Thank you all for joining in the last month. You're helping us hit our goal of growing Patreon support by 20 to 40% this autumn. Prefer a one-off contribution? We've got Ko-fi, Bitcoin, and a PO box, our swag store, and even an Amazon affiliate link, so your money helps us, not Jeff Bezos. We post new videos every few days on the main channel, plus extras on Transport Evolved Take 2, and since YouTube comments aren't safe for us anymore, the best way to chat is through Patreon, Mastodon, Blue Sky, or our website. If you want more, the algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we'd love you to check this one out too. Be awesome, be kind, be intentional, and never forget to resist. Keep evolving!